Carter Prime Brief and Carter Prime. Coming to you from November.
Hello there, dear viewers. You're welcome to Prime News over My Media Prime TV. I am Sama Eileen for presentation. Today, December 1, is World AIDS Day, a day set aside by the World Health Organization (WHO) to raise awareness and knowledge about HIV and a call to move forward, ending the HIV pandemic as well as stigmatization surrounding the disease. Get details in the following report.
The 2022 edition of World AIDS Day is commemorated under the theme Equalize. In Cameroon, Dr. Njobisi Serge, coordinator at the Care and Treatment Center of the Baptist Hospital Mbopi Douala, says the prevalence rate in the nation has dropped.
Generally, nationwide, the prevalence of HIV has come down. Currently, it stands at 2.3% as compared to, let's say, 5-10 years back. We're having up to 4, 5, 6%. So I think we are winning the war. Those we still have a lot to do. But if I'm talking about Mbopi Baptist Hospital, I think nowadays more people are now aware of HIV, aware of the complication. They are also aware about the route of transmission.
Note that the National AIDS Trust is committed to stopping new cases of HIV, securing the rights of people living with HIV, and fighting HIV stigma and discrimination.
Talking about stigmatization, I think we have done very well in that domain. HIV is not what people used to think. People now are ready to accept it and even to open up. If I should take the example of care and treatment where I work as a coordinator, we see people coming to test and they are ready to share it with their family members, they are partners, okay, and the health worker also have, because of the knowledge they have now, okay, their attitude towards patient has greatly changed.
Dr. Serge reiterated the mode of transmission.
The mode of spread or transmission of HIV still remains what we call heterosexual mode of transmission, meaning it is contacted through sex, be it anal sex or through the vagina, especially when you are not using a condom. There are other means of contamination or contacting HIV, which are maybe the use of sterile or needle, sharp or instrument. Okay, there is also another mode of transmission which is from mother to child. It's known as vertical transmission.
A word of advice from the medical practitioner is?
As a word of advice, I will tell the young people, number one, abstain. That's the rule number one. Abstain from sex. Okay, that's what we call the ABC of abstinence. If you cannot abstain, then practice safe sex, meaning you have to protect yourself using a condom. Okay, and it's also important for them to test. That's where to start. Everybody should know his status.
Note that in Cameroon and across the world, HIV and AIDS treatment is free of charge, but HIV remains a major public health issue that affects more than 2 million people in the World Health Organization European region. Activities marking the day include free HIV screening and health talks in public places like motor parks and markets.
The International Human Rights Day in Cameroon will be observed on December 10, 2022. In the country, the physically challenged with so much unexploited talent seek opportunities to shine. In this light, the National Commission on Human Rights and Freedom has urged the government to think of facilitating access to the physically challenged during the conception and construction of public buildings. Bo Elvis completes that story.
In Cameroon, this is the number you should call when faced with a human rights abuse. As the country prepares to join the world to observe the International Human Rights Day on December 10, the National Commission for Human Rights and Freedom is concerned about access to public buildings for people living with disabilities in Cameroon. During this year's Human Rights Week, human rights organizations are expected to take part in daily activities geared towards building a society where rights are valued.
Well, the message would be that they should not think that they are forgotten in society. That the Commission for Human Rights in Cameroon has them at heart, as we've taken into consideration their accessibility, their access to public buildings when they are being constructed, that they are not forgotten at all. Especially this week that we're going to celebrate the International Day for the Handicapped People.
People with disabilities are talented, yet sometimes ignored. We all have some skills, we all lack some others, and we can all contribute. The National Rehabilitation Center for Persons with Disabilities in Etokebe, Yaoundé has been at the forefront when it comes to empowering them.
We're trying to promote here an inclusive society, such as the special school and a school for children with special needs. We have a primary school here. We have some workshops for carpentry. We have for graphic arts, for serigraphy, and the medical aspect is very important because we are working with some physiotherapists, some specialists as far as neurology is concerned, orthopedic surgeons is concerned, otorhinolaryngology is concerned, and the neuropediatric is concerned.
Families with relatives living with disabilities are more likely to experience harsher economic conditions. Disability is not a curse. For this reason, the physically challenged need our love and care.
Tout paraît beau, tout paraît léger, comme si le monde avait changé. C'est la vie, la vie.
Cameroon's former Prime Minister Philemon Yang has called on the people of Bamougo in the Northwest region to be ambassadors of their community development wherever they find themselves in the country. Philemon Yang was speaking during an event where he was invited by Fondofwa Zofwa III to galvanize the people of Bamougo to raise funds for development back home, especially as the Northwest struggles to emerge from the grip of the crisis. Bo Elvis once again.
The people of Bamougo in Yaoundé have not forgotten about the suffering masses back home. Galvanized by their fund, they have come together to raise funds to support development in their kingdom.
Of satisfaction to see my people happy, to see my people contribute for the development of the kingdom, the Bamougo kingdom, to see my colleagues, their funds, to see Prime Minister Yang, from Chafa, and the host of majesties that came around for development.
Former Prime Minister Philemon Yang came to support the initiative.
Your fund is a great diploma, but I'm asking all of you to be great ambassadors of Bamougo wherever you are. This country belongs to all of you. Wherever you are, settle down and be a good Cameroonian.
The goal of this annual convention is to extend roads to villages and quarters in Bamougo and attend to other socio-economic needs of the people.
Back home, we all know in Northwest and Southwest these our days, the insecurity back home there, it makes people find ourselves very difficult to meet up with certain things. So we decided as a family to meet and give a supporting hand to our mothers, fathers back at home.
Bamungo women are the engine of community development and have been instrumental in rallying women towards the kingdom's development objectives.
We have the kitchen jangies that all the women belong to, and they are contributing their portion. So we see our men shining and looking good, and all this mobilization is thanks to the women.
Bamungo is an influential kingdom in the northwest region of Cameroon. According to heroes of myth and legends, the Bamungo people are believed to have migrated from a waterfall called Fungay, moving along with a mysterious black sheep with instructions from their god to settle where the sheep dies and is buried.
On a sad note, over 13 shops have been ravaged by fire at Marché Bay in Ezeka, central region of Cameroon. According to sources, the fire generated from a cosmetic shop in the market before extending to other shops on the night of Tuesday, breaking Wednesday. Catherine Ekongwe reports.
A good number of shops have reportedly been reduced to ashes following a fire incident that broke out at Marché Bay in Ezeka, central region of Cameroon on the night of Tuesday, breaking Wednesday. According to sources, the fire generated from a cosmetic shop before extending to other neighboring shops. Council workers and the population that was present at the scene struggled to bring down the fire and broke into other neighboring shops in a bid to remove valuable materials. Also present at the scene in the morning was the president of the Cameroon Party for National Reconciliation, PCRON Kabralibi, the mayor of Ezeka, and other authorities in the area who sympathized with the victims.
The fire was starting in one of our markets, so I called upon my services to come on the field to try to stop the fire. Also, we received a lot of support from our armed forces. They came on the ground and they saw what was going on, and they tried to stop the fire by asking people to destroy two of the boxes towards what the fire was going to.
In addition, the mayor has assured the victims that the council will see how they can come to their aid after assessing the material damages.
Today we are trying to relocate those who lost their boxes here so that they can keep doing their jobs, because we know that a lot of families depend on these commercial activities. We still work on the ground. You see Mr. Kabralibi is on the ground and is trying to find solution with the government. We are going to write to the President of the Republic to see what he can do for the population of Ezeka to help them overcome this crisis.
The fire incident, which broke out on the night of Tuesday, breaking Wednesday, has recorded huge material losses with no human lives lost.
Onto something else, the Western Regional Council has just adopted its regional development plan, a compass that will allow the institution to actually get to work according to the executive of the institution. Details of this three-day session in the following report with Dolly Ngande.
The road to decentralization is getting broader in Cameroon as regional councillors can now handle their own budgetary orientation debates. After long hours of deliberations, the session members of the Western Regional Council have been able to come up with the region's development plan.
Relieved today that we have, the councillors have adopted the regional development plan of the West region. It was really a problematic type of document to elaborate, but today it has gone through the council, and we are so happy and proud that we have done a very good job all the observations that are being brought up by the regional councillors, we make sure that we are going to insert it in the plan so that it should be a plan that befits all the criteria that takes into consideration the needs and aspiration of our population, pending the approval now of the supervisory authority, the governor of the West Region.
Besides being a compass for development, this plan will also allow the institutions to get to work according to the derogatives of their executive institution.
We are grateful in the Ministry of Decentralization and Local Development for the opportunity that is being given to us to talk about this budget orientation debate. And I was mandated by the minister to come to talk to the regional council of the West Region about all what concerns the session that is concerned by the budget orientation debate. And within that session is just to discuss about all the elements that are being proposed by the president of the regional council to the members of the regional council for them to give their orientation on how the budget has to be drafted, so that when they will come for the budgetary session, they will adopt on the orientation that were given to them.
And with the current socio-economic crisis hitting almost every part of Cameroon, it is expected that this regional development plan gets to contain the plight of the common man.
From the west to the southwest region, where the president of the National Communication Council has urged journalists in the southwest to possess a change of attitude and improve on their reporting. Joe Chebonke Kalabo was speaking yesterday, November 30th, in Buea during a coffee talk with journalists in that part of the country. Emmanuel Asi was a part of that meeting and now tells us more.
In a bid to improve on the reporting style of journalists in the Southwest region, a region hit by crisis, the president of the National Communication Council has, in a 5-hour exchange, tasked journalists in the Southwest region to be professional in their reporting.
What I expect is an improvement in the reporting style, because when you talk to them about conflict reporting and the instrumentalization of journalists, it means that it's an ear that has been noticed. And so with the old hands and all what we have reminded them about, we expect a change of attitude and an improvement in the reporting style.
The professional talk was held with veteran journalist Victor Ngome Epie, columnist Kandem Fobinake, the regional delegate of communication, and other divisional delegates of communication, veteran journalist Victor Epie Ngome, in his presentation of crisis reporting, urged journalists to be dispassionate in their reporting of crisis. He laments that the journalism of today has greatly changed, as journalists tend to report what they think than what they see. The journalists, on the other hand, say they are edified exchanging with these veterans.
It was necessary, I think it was very necessary and timely, that an exchange of this nature be organized. And on a personal note, I think I've learned so much. I've had the opportunity to table my own personal worries to them and hear the explanations and justifications for certain actions that they take as the National Communication Council and the advice generally to media practitioners.
A new dawn for journalists in the Southwest region, as they are urged to go back and change their reporting style.
Let's now move over to the northwest region, where councillors of the Njinicom Council in Boyo Division have deliberated and adopted almost 750 million francs CFA as council budget of 2023 for the Njinicom Council. The Mayor, Young Samuel Law, addressing councillors during the session, said if the budget is met, the council will realize more of its projects, including construction of rooms, classrooms, bridges, culverts, among others. Let's get details in this report with Charles Kebwa.
The 2022 budget of the Njinicom Council, which stands at 749,949,917 FCFA, adopted November 30, 2022, in the presence of Boyo SDO Tine Fidel, the divisional delegate of decentralization and local development, forces of law and order, as well as elites of the municipality. The budget at 749,949,917 FCFA, which balances in revenue and expenditure, witnessing a slight increase of $1 million, with functional revenue, which stands at 291,949,917 FCFA, investment revenue at 458 million FCFA, and functional expenditure at 252,370,000 FCFA, whereas investment expenditure at 497,579,917 FCFA, seeing more budget fixed towards the development, given the Njinicom development plan is to develop the municipality as much as they can.
The last rank of the regional councils in respect to development, the Njinicom Council was ranked the 5th, and for 2023. The year that is just coming up, we want to think that the mechanism we're going to put in place to even come up to the first position is that we have to work as a team, we have to work in synergy, we have to collaborate, we have to make sure that we put all what it takes for our projects to be realized and realized in time too. So the secret is just that we want to think that we work as a team, normally achieve our goals.
Njinicom Council Mayor Young Samuel Lu said, despite the security challenges faced in the division, Njinicom is not going to remain the same. He appealed councillors mobilize resources, encourage citizens pay taxes, and expose Njinicom Council positively to whichever donor they come across. With future projects the council envisages, if the budget is realized, the council shall build more classrooms, build bridges, culverts, more electrification and water schemes to better the livelihood of the Njinicom population. It should be noted, during the year 2022, series of projects were realized in the municipality with the help of the BID, such as construction of bridges over River Ngongnambang, construction of Wombong Iku Village Hall, supply of medical equipment to health centers, electrification of street lights with solar lamps, and lots more.
You are welcome back. Now on to our feature page. Moving on the streets of Douala, a variety of leisure sites can be spotted. Within the week, some of these sites are empty and others crowded or timidly occupied on weekends. However, the City Council has made available these leisure parks for once-in-a-while relaxation after a week long of work. Colette Loom visited some of these leisure sites and put together the following report.
This is how most Douala city dwellers begin their day and get busy till the day comes to an end, and sometimes late into the night, making ends meet. And as the year draws to an end, a lot of persons are running helter-skelter to meet up with financial engagements taken at the beginning of the year. And it will just be okay to relax and have some fun this end of year. Meanwhile, some people, after spending the entire week working extremely hard, always make it an aim to find time to relax by visiting leisure parks. Creating spaces for people to gather and relax is one of the hot trends of placemaking and modern space design in a city like Douala. The $1 million question is if Douala city dwellers make use of these leisure parks.
What is your family?
I am a family head. At times I go for leisure with my kids, especially as kids have fun too. I equally work so hard, and in course of that, I deserve once in a while relaxation, so I reconnect with nature as well. Most weekends, I take the kids to these leisure sites, except on occasions where I have to travel. To this man, he has no time for leisure. I never go for sightseeing because if I do, my customers will lack bread. So I do my best to provide bread 24/7 and every day. To him, creating time once in a while to have fun by visiting leisure sites is a necessity as he implements with his family, especially with his kids.
Taking fresh air is the different side of the life, because it's not only that you go and see the bar. When you go and sit there at least you take that one will call that one natural fresh air. And there are people who come and sit there, you see how they enjoy their life. At least from there you practice something more interesting. I always let my kid out, go and sit somewhere to take fresh air. and make them to feel happy also. This life is not going to go and sit in the beer, paddle bar, drink, then you forget about your kids.
The attitude of taking out time of busy work and business schedule once in a while to relax is imperative for easing stress and maintaining a healthy lifestyle, though other gains too are involved in the likes of maintaining normal blood sugar levels, boosting confidence to handle problems after a well-deserved rest. Therefore, once in a while, outdoor relaxation is encouraged for a healthy lifestyle.
Let's now talk sports. One of Africa's representatives at Tunisia have been eliminated from the 2022 FIFA World Cup Qatar after defending champions of the title France yesterday. This was due to the fact that Australia beat Denmark to deny them the chance of joining Senegal in the knockout stage of the competition ongoing. Magdala Eyong gives us details of the games that went on the way yesterday, plus results in this report.
The Qatash Eagles of Tunisia have been voted out of the ongoing FIFA World Cup in Qatar.